6.5 Apologetics and the Battle of the Mind. There's a widespread teaching among contemporary spiritual warfare expositors on the battlefield of the mind. This doctrine is largely based on Paul's charge in 2 Corinthians 10:4-5, which says, "For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the putting down of strongholds, casting down imagination, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ." The military language used in this passage clearly echoes that of Ephesians 6 verse 12. Whether Apostle Paul made these statements allegorically or literally, it is very evident that he was very convinced that the Christian walk involved some form of warfare, and that this warfare was not a physical battle. It was not carnal, no flesh, no blood, but a spiritual one, struggling against spiritual wickedness. Paul often talked about fighting a good fight of faith and continually encouraged his proteges to endure hardness as good soldiers of Jesus Christ, as seen in 2 Timothy 2 3-5. A further reading of Ephesians 6, especially verse 16, which says, "Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one," and terms he also used in Corinthians 10 verse 5, such as casting down imaginations, etc., also suggest a mental battle. Therefore, it would be safe to say that this spiritual warfare consists of fighting against evil forces in the mind, or at least at its initial stage. Earliest commentary for English readers interprets the fiery darts of the wicked one as the arrows with the points made red hot or wrapped in with burning tow, as compared to Psalm 7 verse 14 and Psalm 120 verse 4, which may fix and burn out without any harm. St. Paul likens it to faith. However, the real question here is, what was Paul referring to by these arrows of the enemy? Many scholars believe that he is referring to Satan's attacks and temptations as witnessed in Matthew 4. As already stated above, during temptation, Satan often capitalizes on his victim's ignorance of the Word of God by trying to destroy it and presenting his deception as truth. What is so dangerous about this evil strategy is that it usually occurs through subtle imaginations, thoughts, etc. Hence, the spreading of false doctrines has remained one of Satan's most effective weapons against believers and the church. Paul here is clear that such evil thoughts and imaginations need to be cast down and brought captive to the obedience of Christ. Meanwhile, although very controversial, a careful analysis of the armor of God in Ephesians 6 also indicates that Paul here was only charging his readers to stand fast to sound doctrine and prayer. Because when the Roman army symbols used in Ephesians 6 are removed from the text, all that remain is truth, righteousness, the gospel, faith, salvation, the word of God, and prayer. In a nutshell, spiritual warfare is a battle that goes on in our minds between error and truth. If we can know the truth and focus on it, while at the same time ignoring the error, we will be successful in spiritual warfare, hands down. John Gill commentary, Matthew 7:15-23. Benson notes on the Bible, Matthew 7:15-23. J. Calvin, The Man and His Ethics, New York Henry Holt Company, in 1931, page 111.